family? You're tuned in to Real Ass Word Radio 104.1, your nightcap of comedy. My name is Ken Miller in the big chair. It is Wednesday night, May 29th. Thank you guys for tuning in our week. Hope you enjoyed your 3-day weekend. Some people had a 4-day weekend, so I hope you had a good one. Jeff's making a face like he didn't get no days off, or he didn't give his office no days off. Uh, I'm Ken Miller in the big chair tonight. James is on vacation, but I'm joined in the virtual studio with my comedy brothers. First of all, I'm going to introduce the man that got this thing started, Mr. Miguel Colon Jr. What's up, my friend?
What's up, man? I hope everybody enjoyed their Memorial Day weekend and remembered the fallen men and women who fought for this country by buying mattresses at 50% off and Toyota Thon.
I also joined the virtual studio from the law office of Kaufman and Lynn and the Under Oath podcast, Mr. Jeff Batman Kaufman. Jeffrey, what's up, brother?
I'm good, man. Memorial Day is always a weird one because of you can't celebrate something. I mean, you're celebrating death, basically. And I mean, everyone thinks, oh, we're going to get hot dogs, we're going to have a picnic. It just seems like a weird thing to do.
It really does, like the way we celebrate it,
Have a great Memorial Day.
Yeah.
When you just say it, it's like this weird moment we're having. But I guess Easter's the same. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I didn't think about that,
Easter, we're celebrating the death of Christ, so I guess that's kind of something.
Yo, and he dead.
He dead. But nobody wishes me nobody goes, hey, Jeff, thank you for your Easter.
Hey, Jeff, but guess where he ain't at, though? Bam! He ain't get one of these. Huh? He ain't get no flat.
Yeah, with Ken's mama in the box.
They put it behind a rock, son.
Jeff, every Easter I text my Italian and Jewish friends and I say, hey, you guys did this together. Thanks.
You get, it's so weird because, there are a lot of people who don't know the difference with, other than the Jewy guy, I'm sure he knows. But, they don't know between Judaism and Christianity. They don't know the difference. And they look at you and they go, I said, well, see, the first half of your book, that's ours. And they look at you, we don't know what you're talking about. I said, well, see, you did the sequel, which actually outsold the original. So you guys are like Empire, Star Wars.
Yeah.
So.
They did they took it to their guys. They were like, guys love the first movie. We're going to have to put a younger, sexier lead in here.
Kind of want to mellow him out. Lewis type, somebody who.
I want to make this an ensemble cast, too. Can we put some other guys in it? Have I got the guy for you? Have you met Paul? Paul, get in here. I've been looking for a vehicle to make it work for this guy. We got, And
we need a villain. Hey, how about you guys in the back? What's your name?
Yeah,
Judas?
how about the guy? Hey, we need a villain.
Sounds like Jew, so we're going for it. Judas,
We're like, we need a good villain. How about the guys from the first book? Ooh, that's a plot twist. I like that, Our heroes from the first book become the bad guys. Very good. Very good. Like, I want one scene in a restaurant, though. I got this shot in mind,
We need women, too, bro.
We need women. We need women. Let's at least put 2 of them in there. And one.
Don't make him like the horse from the first one, okay?
Yeah. The first one, let's make it his mother. Let's cast her young. Okay, young and hot. And then, let's give him a girl. We'll flesh that out later on, What do we want to name him? I don't know. Make both the bitches Mary. I'm running out of names here, okay? I spent all the names on the guys. I don't know, okay? I don't know.
We had to pull off that walking in water stunt. That was a hard one. We couldn't afford the split in the ocean this time. So we just have him walking across the pond.
Yeah, exactly. We blew the budget splitting the ocean, Jeff said in the first movie. So we're just going to have him walk on it, get Henson in the creature shop on this one. And
sir, what kind of ponds are there in Egypt? Just go with it.
I got this thing here I wanted to put in the first movie, but I couldn't. It's silly, but imagine he's got this bread and he just keeps ripping it open and there's more bread. I like that, but let's add fish too. Fish is really big this season.
We got a lot of
with Red Lobster
in here. There's a lot of fetish guys in here.
We get the fish thing going. We make a bucket, and it's premiered at the movie, the Red Lobster Jesus fish bucket. This is good, man. This is good. What about the devil? We gonna put him in there? Yeah. What's he gonna do? Just kind of just convince him not to go through with this. Be like, hey, you gonna let your dad kill you? Come hang with me.
Oh man, yo. Dude, I got a question to ask you guys, man, because I think I've talked about this before. How I'm turning into my dad.
Yeah.
What you ain't showing up either? What's going on here?
Except for the
Right.
heroin part. No
None of the
heroin
fun
in my
parts then.
yeah, none of the fun
Yeah,
part.
you
The
the PG
alcoholism,
version.
yes. The alcoholism, yes, but not the heroin. Because the other day, dude, I sat and literally my dad would watch the news all day.
Oh,
And then as soon as the news went off, he would watch they got the crime TV channel, like Cold Case Files. And then he would watch like Walker Texas
Yeah.
Ranger. Like that was his day.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I
Your
was
dad. Your dad. I'm down with your
your
dad.
dad sounded pretty white. I got to tell you.
bruh,
This is
dude, I'm telling you, bro, when he
sound a
had
little Jewy.
cancer and I went home to see him, I'm like, Pops, you don't want to watch nothing else? Like, dude, if I gotta watch Walker Texas Ranger one more time, I would choke somebody. But then I realized I would sit here, watch the news, watch Dateline, and watch Matlock. Like all day.
Ooh.
Like I've never seen him before though. I'm watching Matlock. Like I haven't seen this episode 4,000 times. And I was telling my partner about it. He said, yeah, because a lot of stuff might be passed down. And I was like, I don't know if that is. Because I
You
don't
got
know
the
if you know
Matlock gene.
yeah, I got I got the Walker Texas Ranger gene. Because I don't know if you guys know that they've been doing a study about how slavery and the civil rights movement and all of the stuff black people went through has been passed down in genes of black people. And I'm like, is that something you guys think? Like, do you think like the history of your ancestors, like back in the day, like that's been passed down to you?
I don't know how it works because I know that they say humans don't have natural instincts. So when things are passed down, I don't know. But I think culturally, lots of that happens. Lots of it happens. Culturally, I think the teachings of our cultures pass down even in small ways we don't see. Even like, cultural expectations and dreams, like I always Martin Scorsese had this thing that he said once that I really liked. He said, "You're a product of your expectations more than you're a product of anything else." And I mean that, like, if you grow up in a coal mining town and everybody expects that you're going to work in a coal mine, it's hard for you to tell people, I'm going to be a doctor, because in their mind, that's not what we do. And so some of those cultural expectations, I think, are a big part of our life. Ways we eat, ways we do stuff, the practices we have. I don't know if it's in our genetic coding though, because I'm not, I don't really know genetic coding and understand it to a point past like a fifth grade level. But I think culturally, yes, we'll see a lot of that. Just the way we act, the way the small things that we don't even realize are part of our culture. One of the biggest ones, Ken, is I remember telling my friends, I was like, I don't know how this wasn't always a thing for everybody, but growing up, Black and Spanish dudes, when they left each other, always told each other, "Stay safe,
Yeah,
stay safe."
always.
That was your goodbye. Stay safe. It wasn't, and it
Well,
wasn't.
that's funny. That's
from,
what my parents always said when I went into a black or Spanish neighborhood.
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
Jeffrey,
interesting
you're
how that
Chewy
works. Stay
behind better
safe.
stay safe. Yeah, but and so that was part of the cultural idea of there are threats out here, whether we talked about it or not. Stay safe from the outside threats. And Jeff.
Here's the thing. They've done studies on this, and they're very clear. And they've done it with kids where they told a classroom, they said, all right, we're going to split the class into two. All right, you guys over here are smarter than this side of the class. And they let it go for 2 weeks, and they found out that these kids who were told they're smarter suddenly started doing better. And then they flopped it. They go, yeah, we made a mistake. It's really the other kids. And the other kids slowly bent. And you are right. It's about expectations. In my community, for example, in the Jewish community, if you don't go to college, you're a failure. Now, think about this way. How many times have you heard somebody say, I'm the first one to go to college? I'm the second one to go to college. And you automatically think, well, geez, I'd be the exception if I got to do something. Instead of thinking, if I don't, I'm the failure. And anybody I know who's been raised from parents, like military families too, when you were raised from a military family, everyone has that military pride. Now, that wasn't passed through DNA. That was passed from waking up in the morning and having to hang the flag and your father explaining these things to you. I mean, think about what your dad did to you, Miguel, about the Marines.
Yeah.
And you didn't grow up and go, hey, you know what? I'm a big military supporter. You grew up because your dad was like, hey, listen, we're on military bases. This is important.
Yeah, I saw it feed us, take care of us. I saw it be a part of our culture. And Jeff, let me ask you this,
Yeah.
like There's nobody that could look at your life from the outside and you know and not see all that you've done. But did you catch flack from anyone from going into the military? You know, first at
Yeah,
that time.
by all the non-Jews in the military. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
that
they?
was fun.
But did you
Yeah.
catch flack though from not going straight to college after high school and
Um,
going to the military?
I was an exception, and definitely people in my community and my family, they didn't understand it
Yeah.
because that's not the path I should have taken. The fact is, I was 17 years old. I was living on the streets in Miami.
Yeah.
I thought I was too smart for my own good.
Right.
And then somebody's father, who was a military veteran, said, "Listen, if you want to find something, the military is a good option." Now, I was a junior in high school when I went into the military. A week after my 17th birthday. It was
Right.
March. And yeah, a lot of people didn't understand it, but I can tell you this: the military is the reason that I'm able to put up with as much stuff as I put up with. Or, a lot of people that go, "Oh, a 17-hour day, I can't do that." I mean, the Army, you didn't have a choice. You just walked and
Right.
walked and walked. Ken, it was like you when you were doing long sound checks. And you go, "I don't know how many of these I can do."
Bro, hey,
But
man.
for me, when I was walking 36 hours and you
Yeah.
get like 10-minute breaks and you'd like fall back and you'd be out cold. And the next thing somebody be slapping you and you would get up and start walking again. Nothing's worse than that. So that really prepared me for a lot of the bad stuff that would hit me later on when I didn't start my business off money that was given to me. I had to take those risks. I had to fight for that stuff. And a lot of people
And
don't.
Jeff, when you
Yeah.
joined the military, it was a different time. Were you concerned with the Confederacy and their ability to fight against you?
Yeah, no. No, I went in I
Yeah.
went in blind, man. I remember the guy who cut my hair. And I don't know if anybody knows this. When they cut off all your hair, when I say all
All
your
of it.
hair, they
All
have
of it.
a razor and it has a hose on the back.
Yeah.
And the guy I mean like a vacuum, like a Flowbee.
I
And the
got two
guy
hoes in the
flips it
back right now, dog. What's up?
and he flips it 4 times and you're bald.
Yeah.
I mean,
And he
4
tries to be
flips
funny.
and
He
you ain't
tries
got
to be
anything.
funny. So he like, so what you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, he trying to be like, but dog, you come on. And so of course when you young, like, oh, can I get a skin tight fade? Sure.
Yeah.
Whoop,
Zoop,
whoop,
zoop,
whoop.
zoop.
And you
And-
gotta understand how silly you look with no facial hair, bro.
Oh,
You gotta understand how silly you look with no just bald everywhere, bro. Just no facial hair, no mustache, no beard, no nothing.
and everybody's in the mirror afterwards in the bathroom,
Just
feeling
a
their
bald
heads,
baby.
just running their heads over. And my hair had never been that short in my life. And I'm looking at myself. My mom came to my graduation, my basic training graduation, and didn't recognize me. I was
Yeah.
standing right in front of her. And when she
Didn't
realized it was
recognize
me,
you.
she lost her mind and goes, "What did I do?" Because she had to sign
Man.
the docs for me. But
That's funny because I couldn't wait to get to AIT where I can get me a regular haircut.
yeah.
And it was funny because on base, they had no black barbers. So it was all Korean women working in the barbershop on base. So I found a barber
And you had to
off
pay a
base.
$10 drink while you're there
Yeah,
too. $10 for the drink.
Yeah, dude, for real. So I found a barber off base in the hood. This is in Augusta. Then when I got to Fort Huachuca, there was a barber off base, man, and he was a Spanish dude. One hood barbershop in all of Fort Huachuca, and every black soldier was there every Saturday morning.
Now, did you do
Every
anything
time.
special? When I would leave base, there was one thing I do every week if I wasn't in the field. And it was the one thing I did. It was allowed myself to center myself. Nobody else was there. And I would buy comic books and then go to Pizza Hut. And they had the $5 pizza with everything. And I would sit there for like 2 hours. For 2 hours, I wasn't in the Army.
Nah, we went to Jack in the Box.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you did anything to
we
remind,
would leave
just
base and
to
go to-
escape
we
the
did-
military.
We would go to Jack in the Box, and then they had a cowboy bar off because Fort Huachuca had Sierra Vista, which was a Mexican town. It was cowboys. It wasn't nothing black out there. So if you found like they had no hip hop, no nothing. They had a record store owned by a black dude. That's the only way we got hip hop in Arizona at the time. But we running out of time. We got to go to commercial break. We'll be right back. Real Labs, Real Radio 104.1. Real Labs, Real Radio 104.1, your nightcap of comedy. My name is Ken Miller. I am in the big chair tonight because Mr. James John is on vacation with his beautiful wife in Cocoa Beach. So I took over the big chair tonight. Guys, do me a favor. Go out to Facebook, follow us, Real Laughs. Instagram, follow us, Real Laughs Radio. Go to YouTube and subscribe. Let us hit 200 subscribers. Been putting the videos up. Thank you guys for liking them and everything. And if you missed any of our shows, go to iHeart, search Real Laughs. 1,000 plus shows, bro. You can listen to it as at work, in prison, on your way to prison. You can listen to it when you leave your girl house or your dude house. Put us on. We're going to make you laugh. Matter of fact, do this for me. Listen to us while you're making love. Huh? So your baby can come out funny. Your
And maybe
baby,
a little Jewy. Maybe a little
your
Jewy.
baby come out funny, a little Jewy, little
Jeff will
He'll be
do the
an accountant.
brisk.
He'll be an
Jeff will
accountant.
do the bris.
Yo, Jeff will come do the breast. Your baby gonna come out a little Jewy, a little spicky, a little niggy. It's like everything. It's gonna be everything you listen to us, bro. Come on, man. So we left. We were talking about if things were passed down, and the reason I asked that is seriously, man, because my family is funny, and now Miguel, now you got me thinking.
Yeah.
I maybe because I just grew up in a funny household, I became funny. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just not the gene of funny. I just grew up around funny people, and that made me funny. Because I always thought stuff like that, like personality traits and stuff, the way you were, I always thought that was something that was embedded in you. But you're right, it could just be what you were around as a kid.
Let me kind of counter my own argument, though. The one that always blows my mind is how my cousin is an amazing artist. His kids are amazing artists. And I know that he spent time with them and nurtured that. So that could be the reason. But also, he didn't grow up with his dad. And his dad is an amazing artist. You know,
that's a skill. But that's a skill, dude. That's a hand-eye coordination thing. You know,
but so is communication.
No, not as much. You know, one requires, you know, like you, for example, you are ridiculously quick. You know,
yes, you are.
And forget all the nonsense. Oh, I grew up on TV. I watch as much TV as you do. But you pull, retain, and put it out faster than almost anybody I know.
I've said this a million times. You're one of the smartest people I know.
And that's something that's in your DNA.
Yeah.
It's something that was passed to you. Now, for example, hand-eye coordination, like athletics and stuff like that, that does pass because that's something that's a DNA. Like art.
Unless you Michael Jordan kids. Unless you Jordan kids and you ain't get it.
Well, maybe they got that from their mother. They might have got that from their mother.
Or Magic Johnson kids.
Yeah. Magic Johnson kids. They got their own vibe going. They got a lot of cookie in them. That's all.
Yo. Hey, and the reason I asked that, Jeff, because you made me think about something. When you say in the Jewish community, y'all like you're going to college. You're going to college. If
you don't, you're a failure, and your mother knows it. Your family knows it. Your cousins. I mean, you know the competitive nature in a Jewish household. What your cousins doing? What your mother's? What your brother's doing? How they succeed or they fail, and it's always with you. You know, you can't. There's no not going to school.
And the funny thing about that is, in my community, graduated high school, it's like, oh my, like it's huge. Like my mother, you know, my mother passed, and then I was adopted. So I count myself as having 10 brothers and sisters. Now 7 of them are real. 6 of them are real brothers and sisters. You know, 4 are my cousins, but I count them all as brothers and sisters. My adopted mom's greatest accomplishment is that every last one of her children graduated high school. Like that was she. It wasn't even a college. It wasn't even enough. It was the fact that she got even the one that got a GED.
Yeah,
that one was GED sweating. Child. That kid was sweating.
Even the GED child. You know what I mean? Like she was so proud that everybody got a diploma. And then I'm watching on Facebook this week because this is graduation week.
Oh yeah.
All my black friends, they're like, we're overly excited that our kid graduated high school. And more than we do when they go to college and graduate college.
Think of it this way. You want the real test? Look at the spelling bee. Look at the top 10 people in the spelling bee. Half of them are going to be Indian. There might be some Asian sprinkled in, and then these weird white kids from South Dakota. And the reason why is because in their community, that is a very important thing. The English language, studying, being on top of it. And they push this, and they actually, you know, they don't have sport. It's not like, oh, I want you to be good at sports. They want them to be good at this. And it's a very competitive concept. And it applies to everything we do. The more competitive a community is, the more they're going to be good at what they're competitive with.
I want
Yeah,
to see them same Indian kids in a pronunciation bee. You know?
That's why they
Hey.
always say use it in a sentence.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, Jeff, I agree because in my community, we can hoop, we can run, and we can play some football. But in the projects, when you get out of school, to keep you out of trouble, what do our parents do? They send us to the rec center. We go to the
Yeah.
rec center. We play ball from 4 p.m. to 8 o'clock, and then get home, run through the homework real quick, and go to sleep. 'Cause for us, and I'm not saying everybody, black folk, you listen. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about me, my upbringing, how I came through. My friends at 4 o'clock, we got to school. We were going to Warnersville Center to play basketball, football, baseball. We wasn't thinking about academics. You know what I mean?
Think about who you
So,
celebrate in your community. Like Jews, for example, they look at politicians, they look at scientists, they look at doctors, they look at writers, and that's why there's Hollywood has a lot of Jewish writers and producers, because they're out there creating something that their parents could be proud of. And I think that's what we deal with, and we've always been part of that community. And it's just because it's an okay place for us to be. And I think that's where people fit in and where they're more
yeah.
comfortable.
So when I was researching stuff to talk about, and I want to talk about the gene, the passing down, the graduating college, I'm glad you brought that up, high school and everything. I found a story that was unbelievable, bro. So this young lady, her name is Dorothy Jean Tillman the second, by the way. Never met a woman that's the second, but apparently she's Dorothy Jean Tillman the second. Graduated from college at 17 years old. She started college 10 years old. Young black lady, graduated from Arizona State University on May the 6th. She had a associate's, bachelor's, and a master's degree. Miguel, what were you doing at 10 years old that your ass didn't go to college, bro? What was you
I
doing,
think-
man?
Well, at some point, I
Thunder.
discovered masturbating, and then I was like, "Well, that's what we do now." Yeah,
That
at
dude,
10 years old.
hey, bro, Miguel, I read the story.
Yeah.
And I say, oh, this is insane. Young blacks. First of all, shout out to a young black girl, Dorothy Jean Tillman II, from Chicago. I think it's Chicago. She's from Chicago, 10 years old, graduated at 17. Bro, and this is the thing. When I was 10, Jeff, my mama would put me in the cab, give me a book of food stamps and a grocery list. And I would go to the grocery store 10 years old. And I thought that was responsibility. This little girl
Yeah.
just went to college, bro.
Graduated college.
And graduated.
Yeah.
I think
17, starting
that's
at
an
10.
ability. That's just something you're born with, where you're just so much smarter than everyone around you. That's something that you're in elementary school and everyone's looking at you, and you're not challenged. You're looking at this going, I need more. And that's just a mutant thing. I mean, at 10 years old, I think I was playing baseball and basketball and football. I was in
Yeah.
like the seventh
At 10
grade,
years old, I was
sixth
still
grade.
like, yeah. At 10 years old, I was like, I'm 90% sure there's not a monster in my closet, but let's just close the door.
Yeah.
That's
That's
just to
fifth
be
and
safe,
sixth grade.
Yeah.
You realize how
Yeah.
crazy that's fifth and sixth grade. So take yourself back to fifth and sixth, and you're going, I just nailed multiplication. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Imagine
Hey.
you teamed up in a college project with her, and you're like, "What's up, man? You like beer and pizza?" She's like, "I like Gushers and unicorns." Okay, well, I was gonna ask you if you want to go to Antonio's work on this project, but I don't know now.
Yeah.
And Drake's like, "I'll work with her." Just so long, we're going.
Dude, I mean, fifth, sixth grade, dude, I wasn't even thinking about college.
I had my
Mm-mm.
first girlfriend. We didn't even do anything. We just said, are we dating?
Uh-huh.
And then a
I
week later,
could-
we're not dating.
If you
That's
gave
it.
me a pen and paper at 5th and 6th grade and said, "Describe what sex is," I'd be like, "Okay, it's good. It involves noises." Like I didn't even know how the human anatomy fully worked in 5th
No.
and 6th grade, man.
10,
I wasn't supposed
But
to.
they're a lot more.
You know
They're a
who's
lot. They know a lot more, but they're a lot more useless. That's the best way to put it. They know a lot more
Yeah.
stuff, but they can't take care of themselves in any way. Just weird.
Now, you want to hear? I got a story for you guys too. I've always wanted to bring this. I keep forgetting to bring it up. The most Asian dude in the history of Asian dudes. All Asian kids are terrified of their mom sitting next to this guy's mom. I don't know if you guys know Jonathan Young Kim, goes by the name Johnny Kim. Guys, Johnny Kim, born 1984. This is the Johnny Kim story. His parents owned a liquor store. He lived in, like, I think LA or Oakland. I can't remember the exact part. Johnny Kim, regular student, decided when he got about 16, 17 years old, he wanted to become a Navy SEAL. Johnny Kim enlists in the Navy. Johnny Kim becomes a Navy SEAL. He becomes a corpsman in the Navy, a corpsman in the Navy SEAL. He goes through, he goes to sniper school. He goes to urban warfare school. Johnny Kim is the man. Johnny Kim then decides while he's in the Navy as a corpsman, he's going to take college courses, takes college courses, graduates with his bachelor's. While in the Navy, decides he's going to get a commission, becomes commissioned. Johnny Kim, while commissioned in the United States Navy, becomes a naval flight surgeon. He goes to school, becomes an aviator, flying helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft, and becomes a flight surgeon. Gets out of the Navy, stays in as a Navy Reserve flight surgeon. While he's a Navy Reserve flight surgeon, he decides he wants to go to medical school. Goes to this little school he heard of called Harvard. Graduates Harvard as a doctor. Becomes a surgeon in the Navy with a graduate from Harvard. Then while he's doing that, he's like, I love flying. Guess what? I'll become an astronaut. Johnny Kim became a NASA astronaut. And in 2025, he's slated to be one of the first astronauts on this mission to Mars program. I don't know when they're going. Imagine the pressure of being the kid whose mom knows Johnny Kim's mom. And she's like, what are you up to, Dave? He's like, hey, man, just figuring it out. Johnny Kim, Navy SEAL, sniper, astronaut, Harvard graduate surgeon. You're like, I'm trying, Mom. You went to Duke. You're nothing.
You went to Duke. That's the best. You
said
slumming it at Duke.
Yeah.
Hey.
You went to Duke, you bum.
Yo, how crazy is it that the dude that can snipe you can also save your life?
And fly over faster than the bullet. He shoots the bullet, flies, and then moves you and says, that was a warning.
Yo.
Johnny Kim here.
Oh, dude, yeah. His parents just owned a store.
They're liquor store owners, man. They were just, I believe they're he's a first generation American too, But
is that the liquor store that O-Dog shot up?
Yeah, man. He shot Johnny Kim's family. I feel sorry for your mother. This right here, guys, this is Mr. Johnny Kim.
He's a beast.
And he's like 40 years old. He looks like he's 26 forever.
Yo, he look like Barack Obama.
Don't try to steal this one. Don't try to steal this.
That ain't yours.
Hold on. What's his name again?
Johnny Kim.
Dude, ain't he got a black first name, bro?
Johnny Kim, yeah.
Yo, how many white Johnnies you know?
Asian names in the world. Come on, stop it. Stop it. Johnny Lee, Johnny Kim.
Dog, I don't know any Asian. I know Johnny Brown, Johnny Wilson. Johnny a black ass name, bro.
Oh, and he was a member of SEAL Team 3, one of the numbered SEAL teams, like the hard ones. Yeah, man.
Dang, that dude.
Imagine you his cousin, and you Johnny Kim's cousin, man, Bobby Kim. And they're like, Johnny just came back from space. What are you doing? I got that breakdance championship tomorrow at the youth center. And Johnny, you know how it is too, Ken. Johnny's sitting there like, Bobby's the coolest. He just break dances all day and hangs out outside my dad's liquor store. I'm out here in space like a homo, Because you know how it is. The truth is, the successful family member always got love for the least successful one. And they're always super supportive. They're like, What do you mean, Bobby? Yesterday you found that scratch off and won $20. I was just wasting my time saving babies in Iraq. You're out here. You clean my mama's gutters every weekend. Take my silver star.
Hey, you the hero. You the real hero. Hey, man, we gotta go to commercial break, man. We'll be right back. Real Labs, Real Radio 104.1. Real Labs, Real Radio 104.1. Your nightcap of comedy. My name is Ken Miller in the Big Chair tonight. Go out to Real Labs Radio, YouTube, iHeartRadio. Man, y'all come follow us, subscribe, go listen, dog. We truly appreciate you guys checking us out for the past 7 years. James John is on vacation. Join the virtual studio, with Miguel Colon Jr. and Jeff Batman Kaufman. We were talking about Johnny Kim, and it's funny because like, Jeff, I would love to have been a sniper. Like
Oh
I would have
man,
loved
no,
to have
you
been a
don't. We don't.
sniper,
You and I don't have the patience. We couldn't talk for a whole day.
Yeah.
These guys don't move. They lay
I just
there.
want to pop somebody from a mile away, bro.
Well, all you need is a trunk. That's DC sniper over here. You don't have to be
Yeah.
patient.
You
But
know,
here's the
Johnny.
thing, Miguel and I were part of a group text about a show we did on Saturday night, and the guy ended a sentence, and I've never seen this happen before. And I'm a pretty educated guy. He ends it. He goes, "Miguel, you are one of my favorites," and then he says these two words, "No homo."
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought there was something after it. I'll go, what?
No,
What?
Jeff.
What does that mean? And he goes, no, it's an English term for, how did he put it? He goes, the last part of your message ended with no homo. He goes, no, that's a term used when you say something and mean it in a straight way.
Yeah.
No homo.
And I
And
was like,
sometimes I end stuff. I say all homo because I love my gay homies.
but I would
Yeah.
never use that word. It never comes to me to use it. I'm going,
Yeah,
is this an
man.
actual sentence that you could
Yeah.
use in
But-
the real world?
But he used it wrong. He
Yeah.
said, Miguel, you one of my favorites. No homo. There was nothing homo said about it.
No, that guy needs to chill out. He's homophobe with that statement.
Yeah,
He should have been like, hey,
100%.
Miguel, you know what I'm saying? I love
I'm interested
you, bro.
in you, but
I
not
love
in a
you, man.
homosexual way.
You my favorite, dog. I love you. I love you. I love you. No homo. And I'm like, of course.
But just
That's,
say you
that's
my
along
favorite.
with
Yeah,
the
he
tick
was.
on my sack, so I don't know what that meant. I was like,
when I talked to
yeah.
Akeem, when I talked to Akeem Woods, will be here, or he's here tonight. I always end my statements with all homo. I'm like all
Bro.
homo player, because I support you,
Dog.
my rainbow brother.
For real,
Yeah.
dog. And now, Jeff, I'm serious, man. I was like, dude, you right. I ain't got the patience. I had to change one of my jokes up because I used to do a joke about I'm in the military. I can shoot somebody from a mile away, joking. And after a show, this sniper was like, "Hey, man, can you really?" I was like, "No, bro. It's the joke. That's what make it funny." So I had to change it to the regular 300 yards.
oh, this girl at our show yesterday came and tested me whether I was a veteran or not. And she asked me a question and it wasn't registering to me. And she goes, well, everyone knows that. And I was going, well, it was 35 years ago. Maybe I should know.
Yeah, who out here faking veterancy?
Yeah.
And she said hoorah, and I was like is that a Marine thing? And she
Yeah,
goes, no, it's
hoorah's
an Army thing.
Marines.
I said,
Hoorah's Army, yeah.
I could tell you 400 versions, sing 400 versions of Captain Jack, but I don't remember that last, and
Yeah,
I get
we never
confused
said
because you hear
hoorah.
it so much that I could get
Yeah,
confused
nah,
between
hoorah was not
hoorah
our thing.
and
Hoorah, yeah, right?
Yeah, we never said hoorah.
I
bro,
ask people all the time when I want to prove they're a cop. I'm like, there's no way you're a cop. Show me a picture of your wife with a black eye. You know?
Dude, I was doing Crystal River. I've told this story before. And I said I'm a veteran, and this guy walks up to the state. First of all, I hate Crystal River, period.
Yeah,
And
please,
he
that place
pulls
was
his dog
garbage.
tags off. He says, "Show me your dog tags." I'm like, "Dog, I don't wear. I've been out the military."
who wears their dog tags?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
who wears their
and he
dog
threw
tag?
them at me.
Why?
And he was trying to prove that he was a veteran. I was like, "Dude,
Crystal
who
River
wears
sucked,
dog
Jeff.
tags?"
Crystal River sucked.
Jeff, yeah, it was a terrible room. It was a terrible room. Like,
I mean,
no
but
it was
control
your-
at
you know
all.
what? You know who does that? The military guys who do that, they have nothing else. And they're always testing.
Yeah.
And I've had guys come up to me and they'll say something. I said, dude, I spent 6 months walking the desert in Sharm el Sheikh. What did you do? And he'll go, well, I was, were you even infantry? And they're like, well, no, I was. So what are you bragging about? Listen,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
all did our time and we're done, man. Nobody, if you're still, telling, I hate when people sit around and they tell stories about stuff that guys I knew never told stories about. The guys I know who are from the Vietnam era, who, they were old timers when I got in, they never said anything. They always had that like stare, that one where they kind of just looked over and go, hey, listen, I was there. I was
Because
there.
Miguel, I'm telling him about, hey, remember we was at the NCO club throwing up everywhere?
Yes, that's funny.
They're my military stories.
Yeah, I never told a story about, hey, listen, because we don't want to do it. There was no desire to talk about something bad happened to you or you saw something bad.
Go
You
ahead,
just told
Miguel.
funny stories.
Can I tell you guys my accidental stolen valor story? Check this
Yes.
out. So I'm going to the Rosen Hotel on I Drive, and I got my iHeartRadio badge on. And I used to go there all the time, and I would just I'd be like, I'd bring a girl and we'll just go to the pool and hang out because I don't have a pool. And when summertime, I become a pool junkie. Gotta find a pool, gotta find water. I love pools, and I don't have a pool. And I rent my place. There's no way I'm getting a pool. So I used to go to the Rosen Plaza and I flash my iHeart badge, and I was like, hey man, I'm doing an iHeart thing because iHeart was always there. And then I would park inside the hotel, walk over to the pool area, hang out at the pool bar, buy lunch and stuff, and me and a girl would hang out. We'd have a blast. Well, I'm riding Pops's. He had like 2 trucks at the time. He had this little spare truck, which was a Ranger, right? And then he had his big F-150. So my car's in the shop. So the old man's like, take the Ranger, take the Ranger. So I'm like, all right. So I'm rolling up and I got the Ranger. Well, Pops's Ranger's got its Marine Corps out, and it's got his Master Gunnery Sergeant chevrons on it with the, with the bomb burst and stuff. So I'm rolling and there's no parking space. And there was a black biker organization called the Buffalo Soldiers.
Yeah.
And they were there and they're all parking. And I'm rolling and this bike just cuts me off. He was coming before me anyway and gets in the parking spot, right? So there's nothing I could do. So as I'm passing, one of their bikers comes out, their sergeant at arms pops up. He's like, hey, you let Master Guns park over there. And I'm like, oh, he's like, no, man. He's like, Top. He's like, it's you, Top. He'll find another spot. And it's tinted windows. And I'm just like, roll the window down. I'm like, thank you.
Just showed the top of his head.
We pulled up, and the girl was like, we getting out? I said, hell no. We waiting till everybody leaves. And then when they leave, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna just parking it for the old man. He's inside in a wheelchair. He's just, I'm gonna get him out. But yeah, I was like, oh no.
Oh, that's fun. You know what's crazy about that story? I just found out today what Stolen Valor was. I had never heard that before.
You never heard it, man?
Never heard it before. I was watching Dateline, and this dude was walking around and impersonating military officers
with all his medals too.
Everything. And I did, and they like Stolen Valor. I was like, it's so crazy that you just talked about that because I literally watched it on Dateline today.
Ken,
the worst is, that one spot at Home Depot? There's one spot at Home Depot safer.
Yeah.
And I've driven by it a bunch of times. And one time I go, I'm taking this spot. But I'm always afraid somebody's going to come out, with more credit than I am. Yeah. I'm like, I can't do it.
You know what, man? My old man has told me numerous stories about dudes faking it, and he don't call him out nothing. He says, Mike, that's what I call him, Mike. He says, Mike, it don't bother me. I'm just sad for him. He's like, I'm just sad for this guy, because we had a Marine Corps birthday once, and this guy comes up and he's telling us because when people steal valor, they're never slick about it. They're never like, what'd you do? Oh man, I was admin 4 years, had a blast. They're stealing it because they want the lie to sound cool. They're always
Green
snipers,
Beret, and I was a Ranger.
Berets, I was recon Marine
and a Navy SEAL.
Blah, blah, blah. It's never like, what'd you do? I was a mortarman, had a blast. So this dude was at the Marine Corps birthday, and this wasn't the place. Ken, you've been there before. When we had this ain't the place to lie and steal valor. This is just none but Marines and corpsmen and Army guests and everything there. And the dude was just lying about being a SEAL, and he was like trying to come by. And my old man was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna get you a plate. Why don't you is that what you want?" And the guy was like, "Oh, yeah." And he just fixed him up a plate and just kind of told him, "Hey man, why don't you get out of here, take your plate and enjoy yourself? This ain't the place for it." But I've seen it, and it's funny because I've seen it with my friends who didn't grow up around the military. I was doing a show, guys, one time, and it was Embassy Suites. And you know how they have that buffet or the breakfast and stuff?
Yes.
And my man was probably 21 years old. He was in his BDUs. He had on, check this out. He had on his BDUs, he had Sergeant chevrons, and he had Colonel Eagles on him, right?
Oh.
And so he's like, unshaven, young dude. Yeah. Something was wrong with him too, guys. Something was wrong with him. He probably bought this at an Army Navy store.
Yeah.
And he was talking to people, and he was talking to some of my friends, and they were like, what do you do in the military? And I'm just sitting there eating like, I ain't gonna say nothing, but you lying.
No.
And when he was pretty much done, I said, hey man, Colonel Sergeant. I was like,
Colonel Sergeant.
I said, bro, this is all wrong, man. You got somebody's gonna get really offended. Somebody might take it too far. So just don't do this. And that's it to me, because I'm a civilian. I'm not trying to tell you life. I'm just like, don't do this. You're gonna offend somebody. Somebody's gonna take it too far. And you know what's always the worst too? God forbid somebody lost somebody and they take this as a huge slight. And
Yeah.
man, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. We didn't do it. We don't pretend we're firemen. We don't pretend we're nurses. We don't pretend we're teachers. We don't pretend we're grown-ups.
Some people do. Some people they're not, they need it, but
Yeah.
I was, when we had to get our permit, our gun permit, our carry permits, we had to go to a range, and this dude at the range was just talking about how he was in special forces at Fort Bragg, and I'm listening to him talk and everything else, and I didn't say I was in the 82nd. I said, "Oh, you're Vietnam," and he looked at me. What? I said, "Yeah, Vietnam."
Yeah, Fayetteville.
And he was going, "I don't know what you're talking about." I said, "All right, whatever." And he said he
Yeah,
had
if
been
you're
there
at
like
Bragg
3
and you've
years.
never heard of Vietnam,
And it was just a term that everyone uses for it.
yeah,
And he didn't
Vietnam.
say anything. Well, this buddy of his who was running the range, he goes, what happened over there? I said, well, anybody who's done any time in Fayetteville, calls it Vietnam because of all the Asian brides who came back.
Yeah.
And that the city has a huge Asian population. So the joke was it's Vietnam. And that's the joke we made back then. We don't make it now, but that's what we always did. And he goes, so you're saying he ain't who he is? I said, no, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
just say there are a lot of things. And I talked about the main road that all the strip clubs were on. So if you were in the military, you knew that road and you knew it was Vietnam. And it was just
Shout out
like
to Camp Lejeune, Driftwood Lounge. First time I ever
Yeah.
saw a stripper. I was a little kid. She walked out and I said, I like this.
Hey man, I ain't gonna call this person out. He is not my brother in real life. But for all these years, I thought my brother was this military killer, secret missions. 'Cause
Agent.
that's all he used to tell us. And this, I found out as we got older, this dude was quartermaster.
Hey man,
Oof.
you know.
I could get you a salami anytime you need
Bro,
one.
Yeah.
hey, Miguel, I'm not making this up. All my years, he would tell us how all these stories and all this and that, it was top secret, and I got to kill. He was the first person I ever heard say, if I tell you, I got to kill you,
Kill
Kente.
you.
And then got older, and one of my brothers like, man, he was quartermaster.
Yeah.
I was like, what? He's like, Ken, he called me Kente. He's like, Kente, you was in more of a field unit than he was in.
Yeah.
I was like, dog, all these years I thought my brother was a killer, bro. And he was out here handing out pillows and blankets. This whole time.
This is all the attorneys who go, oh, I was in the military, and they always put them in camo and everything. I'm like, dude, you were a JAG attorney. You were doing divorces.
Bro.
You were walking.
Hey, man. Hey, we got a minute. We got to get up out of here. Jeffrey, what you got this weekend, my brother?
Well, we've got the Under Oath show from 7:30 to 9 on Saturday, and I might hop onto somebody's show. And also, don't forget, the week after, you got to go to our site to get free tickets, complimentary, for the All for the Money show, June 6th.
June 6th. Miguel Colon Jr., what you got this weekend, my friend?
I'm doing Don't Tell Comedy out in Melbourne, man. So check it out.
So don't tell.
Go to Don't Tell. Yeah, go to Don't Tell. I shouldn't even be telling you. If I got to kill you, I got to kill you if I tell you.
You a quartermaster. Who you kidding?
My brother got to come kill you, B. Quartermaster, he going to put you in one of them green laundry bags and choke you out, bro. All them years I thought my brother was a killer. He wasn't. Hey, man, this weekend, Friday, I will be in Sanford at the Tom and Dan. I think it's the 10-year anniversary show. They're doing a comedy show in the beginning, and then they're doing a 2-hour Tom and Dan podcast. So if you're in the Sanford area, just check out Tom and Dan's Facebook page. You should be able to get tickets. Guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow night. I'm Ken Miller. That's Miguel Colon Jr. That is Jeff Kaufman from the Law Office of Kaufman and Lynn and the Under Oath podcast. Jeffrey, tell them what to do.
Take your ass to bed and don't be Jewy.
Good night.